We finally received ZEAL'S side of the story, so sit tight because this is going to be a long one. Before we talk about the document, ZEAL states through the Urban Shade X account that he dropped all his social media as soon as Ren's document dropped and started working on his own document. However, due to the closest people in his life turning on him before he could respond, he spiraled, which resulted in the mentally scattered video he released and his hospitalization. Now for the document, which was released on the 16th of April, and the core claim of the document is that the encounter at the hotel during RDC 2025 was consensual and mutual. ZEAL starts by saying that his autism causes a lack of social skills for him, meaning he finds it hard to understand social signals, however stating that he is fully aware of the concept and importance of consent. He then goes on to say that Ren and ZEAL had known each other for 5 years prior, which had turned flirtatious after Ren had left the pressure team. ZEAL was invited to Ren's hotel room in an attempt to comfort her, which turned into consensual intimacy, which was initiated by Ren. During the second encounter, they used lube and condoms, and ZEAL stayed the night. Next, during RDC, ZEAL cut contact with Ren after she told people about their intimacy, and only after RDC did ZEAL find out about Ren's attempt and reconnect with her. Here they moved to private Twitter accounts, and let's just say that ZEAL provided every piece of evidence as to how consensual this interaction was. I'll leave a link to their conversation and this document in the description, but please proceed at your own risk as this is very 18+ material. ZEAL later found out that Ren wasn't very kind to his friends at RDC and decided to cut her off, which he was afraid to because he didn't want her to hurt herself again. ZEAL also states that no one in the team was present for these events and didn't aid in the supposed cover-up of Ren's accusation. ZEAL then creates an entire timeline of Ren's document, addressing a grand majority of it. Some important things to note are that ZEAL provides a massive amount of evidence, including post-RDC messages that greatly contradict Ren's narrative of assault. He cut contact with Ren after she lost his trust for harassing team members and sharing their intimate details. And finally, he owns the fact that there were great communication failures between the two, and that a professional and personal line was blurred, but refuses to refer to their encounter as assault. He reinforces that Ren may feel as if the encounter was unconsensual currently, but at the time and for a while after, the encounter was viewed as completely consensual. As I've stated in the past, we would eventually receive a full timeline of these events, and that we should hold final judgment for the law. The biggest contradiction, and something I think most people would snap their heads at, is that ZEAL claims that Ren stated, "Can I kiss you?" before any interactions of intimacy happened between ZEAL and her. A stark difference from what was stated in Ren's original document, which told a story of her being limp, disassociated, and non-verbal, leaving her crying for hours. In the end, it's a he said, she said situation, and there truly is no right side in this. Again, ZEAL's doc raises some important questions to me, specifically around consent and how it's stretched to the furthest ends in this situation. This doesn't excuse the trauma Ren may be feeling from the encounter, but the evidence provided by ZEAL shows a narrative completely opposite to what Ren explained. Furthermore, ZEAL doesn't believe that consent can be withdrawn 6 months later. According to Ren, there are other victims out there that have reached out to her, and other documents are being created, but until we have evidence of this, I wouldn't take this as fact. Anyway, thanks for sticking around.